Hello and welcome for one final time to another, well, hopefully not final forever, but a final episode of Third Action, Rise of the Runelords, whatever we call this. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three adventurers from like a month or two ago. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hello, this is the ASMR episode where I talk really close to the mic. So get ready.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, halfling druid, played by Will.
With currently without his dog, because his dog is missing, and I'm very sorry about that. I do have Phelan here, but it's not quite the
that's
same.
where he went.
Yeah,
He went to the real world.
Over here, he's been here the whole time.
And in the bottom right, we have Gunn, Shough, human champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Hey, I would actually be okay if that was the result, Phelan.
On an event.
I feel like Greshy might be mad about that, but we'll see.
Greshy's not going to deal with that very well.
So, last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers defeated the ultimate evil, Karzug the Claimer, Runelord of Greed, Master Wizard of Zinshalast. You had cornered him in his, for better, I don't even know how to put it. What is this thing? It's just a pocket dimension, a little rejuvenation pocket dimension, the Eye of Avarice, where he had been waiting to build up his power again and return to the world and conquer it with his army of giants and dragons and Lamia. And after, I guess in campaign time, it was some months. In real world time, it was some years. You finally managed to put a stop to all of his machinations, slayed him in his hideout, and returned to the real world, or the game's real world, to Galarian. Let's see, let's go over to the map. Oh right, I need to actually hook this back up, huh? I think there's some way for me to hook the camera back up here. All the way up in the northeast of Varizia, you found yourselves in the Kodar Mountains. I think somewhere around here is where Zinshalast was. I didn't pin it on the map exactly, so forgive me if I'm slightly off. But you traveled to the Kodar Mountains, reached the Pinnacle of Avarice, defeated Karzug, and then made your way all the way back across the Storval Plateau to the humble town of Sandpoint. Just some miles east of Magnamar up the Lost Coast Road. The journey back was relatively uneventful. I think as stated at the end of the last episode, you mostly fly on, or you get across a lot of stuff just by flight and dragging back, and most of the threats in the region have long dispersed, and at your high level, no mere wildlife really poses a threat to you anymore. You return to Sandpoint to a party in celebration of your accomplishments. Gunn had been issuing sendings daily to catch everybody up on what's been going on.
Gunn's on the phone the entire way back, pretty much.
Twirling the phone cord, the magical phone cord, while he gossips with just everyone you've ever interacted with.
Rock is flying, and he's just laying across him on his stomach with his fingers twirling. So what are you up to?
Well, one problem is that he can't really do that specifically because Rock is still currently blind.
It's just very weebly wobbly through the air. It's fine.
It's been 1 week since you. God damn it!
You've done that to yourself.
I do it to myself all the time. shit, I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so you guys return to Sandpoint. You've tried a couple different ways, Greshy, I think, to heal Rock's vision, but it just doesn't seem to be coming back. The after effects of the use of the Rune Forge, not Rune Forge, fuck, the Rune Well, Karzug's Rune Well of Greed, triggering it has had some somewhat semi-permanent effects in all of you. It is actually, I guess, nothing in Asher. It's made your vision a little bit less clear, Greshy. Gunn, you're experiencing just very, very mild, like, memory gaps, mostly in details, and it's kind of fuzzy trying to remember things that have happened over the past couple months. And it seems like Rock has taken the worst of it. He just can't see. And he's been fairly stoic about it the whole time. If you talk to him about it, Gunn, he'll just keep reiterating, my duty is done. If this is what needed to happen to stop that villain from returning, I'm glad to have had the chance.
Well, big guy, you got your whole rest of your life ahead of you, so don't give up just yet. We'll keep working on it.
Rock nods as it continues to kind of follow along behind you. Maybe you've got a sort of strap of leather or something that Greshy has set up for you to act as a lead. And as you guys are maybe you're largely walking back from Zinshalast. But once you return, there's big banners set up all around the city. They knew you were coming and like what day you were going to arrive. The people are out in the streets throwing confetti. For the somewhat somber feelings of the party, it's I guess it's a pretty stark contrast. You are once you're within sight of the Rusty Dragon, a familiar face. Actually, let me go ahead and jump to.
That's actually what it's called. Well, I was like,
Rusty
what's
Dragon?
the name of that spell? No, Familiar's face.
Oh,
I was just trying to
familiar's face.
Yeah, I was just actually going to ask, like, I was at some point if I could try casting that and see if it lets me see for Rock, or vice versa.
I'd have to look at it. Maybe.
The target becomes a scrying sensor.
Oh, I see. It's not super useful for you. I guess you can hear through him, but you can't really see. You just get the same kind of really blurry vision.
Maybe we could do it in reverse or something later. We'll figure it out.
Possibly. Yeah, it's a thing to experiment with. When you guys return, Ms. Mina following behind you is certainly scary enough to kind of disperse crowds, especially as she's kind of cramped walking, not so cramped walking down the city streets. This is not perfectly to scale here. I just did an approximation. Actually, it's quite a lot not to scale. So we're just using that representational. But you return to the, once you cross the streets and get to the Rusty Dragon Inn, a Bethana Corwin is standing just outside, sees you all being like mobbed by people who are excited to like try to get your autograph, get a moment to talk to you, and she just kind of ushers you in like, please, come on inside. You Shough, and she starts like batting at a couple of villagers with a broom to get them off of you as she braces gives you space to get inside.
Does she bat at Greshy?
No, not because you're in kind of the center amidst them.
Greshy's kind of hiding behind Gunn. Normally, he's used to having a much larger creature to help block him through situations of this nature, but is feeling very exposed at the moment for varying reasons.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to notice you, I guess. She just sees Asher and Gunn, who are probably walking out in front, and yeah, this is kind of shooing people away. And not directly looking at you guys. I guess Viorian is still with you at this point.
Especially as much help as you can give me with Rock, I would take. Like, guiding him or...
Oh, of course.
Do you guys go into the building, or do you hang out with the crowd?
Inside, immediately. I mean, can we comfortably get Rock into interior?
Oh yeah. It's big double doors. It was big enough for large Phelan. It's big enough still for Rock to get in.
But is it big enough for Miss Nina?
I would say a couple of words and ask people to, like...
Can she stick her head in a window?
Chill.
She could. Okay, Gunn, you're just trying to get people to chill. Sure. I guess you don't really have to roll a diplomacy check. You just kind of stop and give everybody, like, tell everybody to calm down, and people sort of back off and back away a little bit. And Bathana is like, "Oh, thank you, dearie. Now please, you must be so tired," and helps usher you in. You're able to get Rock in through the door just fine, and Gunn and Greshy and Viorian are all able to get in. And yeah, Asher, you're kind of looking at Ms. Mina, the blue dragon, she's just been kind of following you around. She hasn't done much of like, she doesn't seem terribly like intelligent, as far as like a creature intelligence goes. She is mostly just like looking at you and kind of just following orders pretty directly.
She's definitely imprinted on you.
And I give her treats and say nice things about her that she'll remember when she gets turned back. I hope.
And along the way, we've tried to transform her or dispel this curse or what have you, and I assume it's not been successful thus far, obviously.
If you've been trying like dispel magic and those sorts of things, they just haven't. This magic is pretty strong.
A follow-up question to that in that nature, then, it being so strong and almost ingrained into who Mesmina has become at this point, do other polymorph effects work on her? Would this be a situation where Shrink would be able to apply, for example?
Yes. You have tested some other polymorph effects. This seems to be her main, like her real form now. And polymorphing her into other creatures does seem to work.
So we could technically, if that is the case, and you can adjudicate, we could cast some like shape change on her, perhaps, or at the very least, shrink to allow her to fit inside here. Makes her little tiny dragon for a bit.
Sure. Shape change.
I was
really
just
to like think about what creature to turn into.
Shape change is personal too. I think it's self-cast.
Yes,
anyway,
I believe so.
But
yeah, if you had, I'll assume that you knew you were coming back to town. You could have prepped Shrink today if you wanted, or yeah, it is Shrink, right?
Shrink.
Okay. It used to be Enlarge Reduce.
That's why I was checking. I was looking for Reduce, and Reduce is not the name of the spell anymore.
Okay. So you shrink her down to tiny size. Is that going to work? It doesn't really matter on here, but I'll do it anyway.
Whee! There she is.
It's tiny, 0.5, something like that. Oop. Okay.
I think it's 0.4, but...
Ooh!
Alright,
That's
you
fine.
get a tiny little
Shoulder
Mesmina.
dragon.
She climbs up onto your shoulder, Asher,
Like
and
a
you
cat.
walk on inside. Ms. Mita closes the door behind you and comes inside, and the entire place is like basically cleaned out. The only person here is Ameko, who is just finishing setting some plates at a table. There you guys are. We've been waiting all day for you. Didn't know when exactly you'd arrive, but dinner's ready. She says, kind of laying out yeah, sure. It's
okay.
I didn't say exactly what time of day it is, but it's
just in time for dinner. Perfect.
It's like 6-ish p.m. Maybe an early dinner, maybe a late dinner, I don't know. But she's got a whole set of things laid out here, picked out from your personal favorites over the days that you spent at the Rusty Dragon. I'm glad to see, well, most of you made it back in one piece. I'm sorry to hear about... And her eyes glance at Greshy. And I guess you look pretty different too, huh?
I suppose I'm a bit shorter than normal. For now. I don't know if it's fixable.
Yeah, he's turned into a dwarf.
We have fixed his death.
That was the more important part.
Yes. There was a fix. It just was very different.
Well, short's not a problem around here, right, Bathana? That's of course. It's not so bad, she says. She's kind of she's actually maybe like getting up on a step stool to like grab a plate off of the counter. Everyone else should be here shortly. I hope you guys don't mind. Everyone insisted on having a feast once you got here.
Wait, who's everyone? Everyone in the town?
Well, the town's turning the whole event into like almost a holiday, I guess. But the mayor insisted that she come over and be one of the first to greet you. Shalelu and the others are supposed to be back soon too. They were out ranging earlier, gathering a bunch of stuff for the feast.
Are we having boar again?
Oh, God.
Oh, do you not?
I hope so.
oh, good. Well, amongst other things, she says with a smile. But here, if you certainly don't have to partake in all of that. I thought maybe you might want to eat a little bit first before everybody starts asking you questions and stuff.
If you have food to eat, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, I mean she's laid out she's got a big table here already like set up for you guys.
Greshy will hop onto a chair and will probably have to stand or kneel a little bit so we can get enough height.
Oh, let me get you a better chair, Ameko says as she goes off to grab one of the kind of like higher chairs.
For
A
actual high chair.
an actual high chair.
proper stool for him.
We usually use
halflings
these for
here.
the children.
Halflings are known to Sandpoint, so yeah, she grabs a higher stool for Greshy, straps him in with a little buckle, puts his little feet through the little holes, ties a little bib.
Thank you. Hate to get dirt all over myself.
So, I mean, I've heard a lot about this from Gunn, but you really got to tell me everything. Ameko says, turning a chair around and like just plopping down at the table beside you.
Everything about which part do you want? Where do we start? Where did we go?
And
From the beginning. And by the way, I don't think it's going to make it here tonight, but see me in the morning. I've got a gift for you guys. I hope you'll like it.
Sure.
Um,
Well, it started with watermelons and popped corn.
You were there for the beginning.
Greshy was the first to be born.
so you guys,
68 or so, 67 years ago, something.
you guys joke around with Ameko for a while, presumably regaling her with some aspects of the stories that she doesn't know yet. And if you want to do anything here, you can. You kind of have a couple hours, but before people start arriving to the inn for the kind of proper feast. But if no one stops me, then I'll continue.
Greshy's otherwise just distracted tonight, but it's probably not the right time to be trying to do work. We just got to town.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to... Okay. Greshy, there is one point, as you're helping maybe clean up the dishes and set up... basically, once you guys are done eating your kind of, like, pre-feast meal, Bethana and Ameko start getting to work setting out the feast for everyone else, basically. And you guys volunteer to kind of help just kind of clean up a little bit, start doing dishes and things. Greshy, as you're carrying a stack of plates over to Bethana in the kitchen, you hear a kind of quiet jingling sound coming from the dining room.
Well, I'll put the plates down someplace where I won't drop them and go check on this jingling. Does it sound familiar at all, or is it just like coins or chains?
It sounds pretty familiar. It sounds like jingling of like thin chains, and then it hits you. It's the jingling of a dog tag.
And where was the? I was hearing this from the dining room.
Yeah, you were just taking some stuff out of the dining room towards the kitchen, and you hear it like come from behind in the dining room.
Right. I will start to gently put the plates down, and then as I recognize what that is, they will kind of clatter very loudly as they get dropped. And Greshy is going to turn and look to see what exactly is making that noise.
You turn abruptly, and the plates clatter on the floor, and the dining room's empty. There's no one there. There's a wisp of maybe some smoke wafting in from the window. Maybe someone smoking has just walked by outside. But no, it's empty.
Just been hearing. Well, I'll pick the plates up. Hopefully none of them have actually broken.
One's a little bit chipped, but otherwise they're fine.
Well, we'll just hold the chip with our hand so it's not visible, and otherwise carry the rest of them in and just kind of put that down. There you go.
Okay.
There may have been an accident.
Oh, don't worry. It can't be worse than anything some of the regulars do once they get a little bit rowdy.
Let me make sure to pay for it, and Greshy will pull out 50 gold pieces out of just one of the pockets in his robes and just kind of let it clatter onto the counter.
How much could a plate cost, Michael? 50 gold?
oh, that's not necessary. We have plenty of plates, please. But if I suppose it's fine. She says, scooping up the gold into her tiny little granny hands. I guess I'll go put this in the register, she says, waddling off.
Long-term investments with that. Don't want to drive inflation too badly.
An hour or two passes after dinner and after this kind of cleanup phase, and people start streaming in to the Rusty Dragon. both to the sort of outdoor seating out front and to the interior seating. They have a special table that's kind of sectioned off just for you with some, because you ate earlier, they have some kind of smaller plates out, just appetizers and things.
It's just like a reception. Perfect.
Yes. Viorian does not sit at your table with you. She just kind of chills in the back.
She's not received.
Yeah, she has no idea who we are anymore.
She came all the way out here.
If you explained, well, she needs to get back to Riddleport, so she also, I guess, didn't get her memory back. I guess she did not get her memory back. And you've basically filled her in over the course of your travel back of what happened, I assume. You could leave some details out. What do you tell her?
It might be might be beneficial if we can, but no, I literally can't. So, like, there's two reasons that I can't.
Yes.
I don't remember. If I don't remember the truth, if I don't remember the truth, is it really a lie?
Maybe we should be rolling to find what you actually do remember to tell.
If you don't know if what you're saying, like, if you don't even know if it's the truth, I don't think you could say it that way.
Yeah,
you remember your
oaths. Yeah. I do.
But does he though?
No, I would.
And if
I
he
would,
forgets them, can you just violate
I would
them?
tell her.
I forgot my oath.
I would tell her the best possible version of my role in the entire affair, and spin it as much as possible to get the heat off of myself.
Hit it on Greshy.
Okay, sure. She doesn't really. Yeah, you basically don't tell her like who you are and like what happened with you, relative to, like, she doesn't remember who you are specifically in as far as your backstory goes. She doesn't remember that you killed her nephew.
But like, for instance, I would absolutely tell her that the one of the senators or whatever of Riddleport was being deceived by the Lamia, and it's the guy who ordered the assaults on that set of towns and villages, and that, you know, the Amber Blades were duped into going along with it, and then some of them, like, honorably rebelled against their orders. Things like that. Yeah.
She doesn't even seem to remember, like, she barely remembers her role as like the kind of captain of that mercenary group at all, or the owner or commander of the mercenary group. So yeah, you're able to kind of carefully dodge all of your involvement in like the that part of the story, and sort of fill her in on the details of what's happened since then. But yeah, so she's warmed up to you guys a bit, but she sees that you guys are clearly the center of attention here. She goes and sits off in a corner with her still kind of ostentatious gold armor. She's taken off her Valkyrie headpiece that she was wearing, and otherwise just letting her black hair kind of sit naturally. But yeah, so you guys chill at the central table. Mako is bringing out food and water for all the guests. One of the first people to arrive is Mayor Devrin. Who thanks you all so very profusely for your efforts here. Both in and around Sandpoint. She right. She mentions that you've made a request to get some land in Sandpoint, well, I'm excited to announce that we did actually have 3 nice vacancies for you guys if you were interested. I've already we already sort of started doing some renovations for it, if you want.
Where's Asher's located, or did you pick them out for us in advance?
I picked them out. The north side of town was the most empty, so we got you some spaces around there. And I don't remember exactly which buildings, but there are 3 buildings in this kind of north section of town somewhere.
Well, I mean to say that since Asher's not going to be using his parcel,
you can have my parcel.
Oh,
I give it to you.
Oh, certainly. If you, they're already accounted for. So here, actually, and she places 3 scrolls on the table, each one a deed to one of these 3 plots of land. I suppose they're not much, but it's hard to imagine the heroes of Sandpoint not being landowners in Sandpoint. So thanks again for everything that you've done for us, for me, for the people of the town. It's been a rough couple of months, but and I don't know how we would have done it without you. And of course, if you don't decide to stay, Asher, we'll be glad to have you anytime.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. I just don't think land ownership is for me. Not my thing.
That's totally fine. I'm sure, I hope you find a home somewhere that you enjoy. You shouldn't, I hope you shouldn't feel the need to wander forever.
That sounds kind of cool. No, I'll find a place.
And
I guess
find
that's
something to do with the plot that Asher would approve of.
It's whatever you want to do with it. It's all good by us. I suppose me not being an adventurer, I can't really imagine what it's like to have that much wanderlust, but I do envy it a little bit. Anyway, I shouldn't keep you. There's so many people that seem to want to talk to you. She says, looking at the kind of crowds of people starting to come around, and she'll kind of step aside.
I'll make my property a church
in all the land.
That's my only request.
Don't make it a church.
Don't make it a church to any deity. Otherwise, you can have it.
I thought about tearing whatever building was there down and just making it a giant tree. What do you think?
I like that. That I like. Big tree. You can stride in the tree.
I mean, that for practical purposes as well, it just seems like it would be nice to have a nice landmark.
All the different types of trees you can find. One of each.
Build one of each tree.
Well, if you did grow a number of saplings, if you could get them to properly grow into one another, it could be interesting. Might have to use some magic to encourage such growth, but...
And then you could tree stride to there from anywhere.
Oh,
would need to
like
make
a
sure.
botanical garden. That would be nice, Broderick Quink says as he passes by. Sandpoint could use a little bit more greenery.
I agree. That's why I thought. It's a good thought, though. A full garden, actually, be even better. Grow up and around it.
I hope you don't mind, but I won't take up too much of your time. I heard that you discovered some kind of ancient Thessalonian city, and I was, hoping that you might be able to take me there?
I think it's safe now.
That's something that could be possible later.
Oh no, it is safe.
At some point.
Giants fix the other giant problem, I think.
Certainly, if it's safe, that would be wonderful. I don't even need to go for very long. I've been a studier of Thessalonian artifacts for so long that to find a real Thessalonian city still intact that's quite the find.
And your information helped us tremendously along the way.
Oh,
we would not have been able to manage this without the things that you helped us uncover.
Oh, just boring, useless book information. I'm sure your skills were really what saved the day. Though I'd like to think that history had played a part.
Certainly did that.
But we can discuss the details later, perhaps. And of course, I'd be willing to pay. He says as Bethana starts ushering him away.
I think we'll be all right on that. Pay your taxes first.
He looks a little bit saddened by that comment. You see a little bit later, Shough walk in with a group of 3 men and a cat.
3 men and a cat.
Yep.
Asher will run over to hug her immediately when she walks in.
Asher!
Very excited. Yay!
There you are.
Good to see you.
Oh, it's
First
so
her,
good to
then
see
the
you
cat.
too. Sorry, we were out doing a little bit of ranging in the area. Weren't really expecting you to be back today, but how's it been?
Wow.
Okay, well,
Do I have a lot to tell you?
I would love more of the details. Gunn's sendings have been useful, but only to a point. Glad to see you survived, kid, Jakardra says.
Oh. And Asher hugs him as well. Hugs for everyone. No, we're hugging.
He's trying to squirm a little bit to get out, but
That's fine.
relents after a moment. Fine. I've never been to Sandpoint, Vale says as he kind of just drops he just sets one of his axes in the wood floor. You hear Ameko shout from across the room and throw a ladle in his direction, hitting him across the head. Sorry. Not used to civilized places, he says, picking up the axe again. Kib runs over and purrs at Asher's feet and then goes over and purrs at Gunn and Greshy, looking for pets. Kaven is mostly quiet. He just kind of hey guys.
Okay.
See, you made it.
Yeah, the talk you guys gave me. I figured it was, looking at all the people at Turtleback and seeing how much they were struggling after the flood, I feel like I found something to live for again. So, I guess thank you guys for that. Jakar just kind of slaps him on the back. That's putting it lightly. We've been trying to help the villagers with the rebuilding efforts, and it's been going pretty good. Kaven's not too bad with a rapier, I'd have to say. Certainly scared off that weird blue guy from attacking those people, but it was nothing. Kaven says. I think I had an Irish accent for Kaven before, but I'm not going to do it now. Remembering.
Why not? Not feeling so comfortable with it anymore.
No, I have to be in the zone. I need to practice my Irish more.
Got to play in the Taser zone.
Go full Lucky Charms? No.
This weird blue guy, was he wet? Watery?
Jakardros nods. You familiar with him? He calls himself Groswell. He's...
Oh, that son of a bitch. He escaped us once before.
So you're familiar. He's a slippery one, all right. He's been...
He's slick.
He's mostly harmless, but he's taken up residence in the shipwreck of the Paradise. And we've been trying to flush him out, but nobody could really make their way down there, and we've got our hands full trying to train up new recruits for the Black Arrows and all. Not that we really need that many, he says, kind of scratching his head. Since you guys left, our giant problems have certainly quieted down quite a lot. That's why we're able to make the trip here.
Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense, because they were all up in the mountains. But they might come back down before too long. Actually, I have some...
Yeah, that's why we've got to keep training. So, once we're done here, we just had to come by and congratulate you guys on a job well done. And once we're done with that, it's probably back up to the mountain for us.
I actually have some thoughts in that regard, and it would do me some good if, in the meantime, you could keep it to more defensive action. Just focus on protecting the town and the folks, rather than straying too far into the Giants' territory.
Jakardros nods. Well, I'd certainly like to pick your brain on that if you've got some ideas. But we can talk later, I guess. And yeah, they'll kind of move to their own table nearby. Let me think. Does anybody... plenty of other villagers and people show up. Sheriff Hemlock and Father Xantus would show up as well. With a third person in tow. Someone that you would remember, Gunn, but I don't know if the party ever really interacted with directly. She's a dark-skinned older woman wearing very similar armor to Gunn's old armor. It's like green with golden trim, a clear symbol of Erastil on the front. Her face is weathered and scarred from many a battle over her lifetime. But Mother Teketz is standing alongside the two of them. There you are, Gunn. It's good to see you. It sounds like you've been...
Likewise.
Quite a handful.
Yeah, been quite a handful and dealt with quite a lot of things.
Well, that's good. Hard work always pays off, she says, with a very bright, proud smile. And you two must be Asher, right? And she points at Greshy. Phelan, was it?
You see visible wince, like genuine, like pain. Greshy.
Oh, Greshy, right. Sorry, I must have mixed up the names. How do you do? I'm Mother Teketz. Head priest of Oakheart. Not too far out of Sandpoint. A good friend of Father Xantus here, and Father Xantus nods. Yes, we've been quite good friends over the years. I'm quite thankful that you lended your pupil to us for so long. Lended? He did all of this on his own, I have to say. Hemlock is just kind of quietly nodding in the back.
Something I felt I had to do. Right place, right time.
Well, it was good that you did, Hemlock says, with a stern nod. Verizia needs more people like you, people willing to stand up for what's right.
We did.
I think there are a lot of
the world to be destroyed.
There are a lot of folks out there.
He's like, I don't care if it was right.
I just happen to live here and I don't want it to go away yet.
It was effective, not right. Killed them.
Well,
I just
it's
want
still
people to die.
not everybody who's got the power to do the right thing does the right thing. Just felt like you should know that. We at the Sandpoint Guard are more than happy to make you guys... I mean, the three of you have basically been honorary guards since the start. But should you ever need our help, we're more than happy to assist in any way we can. And we hope that we can count on you in the future. Should any other... Well, hopefully not, he says, kind of lowering his head, just like praying.
Yeah, if any more Runelords come
no
around.
More dragons, no more Runelords, please.
No, I think
Just
we're plumb
quiet.
out of all of them. I think we'll be fine.
It would be a kindness if no such creatures or evils rose up again in our lifetimes, I think, Father Xantus says with a hearty nod. Gunn, by the way, I was wondering if you were planning on coming back to Oakheart at any point. Mother Tiket says, looking at you.
Not right away. Maybe for a visit. But for the moment, I had another idea, something I could do to help out. I'll talk about it with you after.
Very well then. And Father Xantus puts an arm on her shoulder. She looks like visibly, just ever so slightly disappointed. She was maybe hoping that you would, that her favorite pupil would come back. Yeah, Xantus lays a hand on her shoulder and reminds her, Mother Tiket's feet are for walking. Let them continue learning and doing what they must. It's maybe not his time to settle down just yet. Of course. Just looking forward to having you home, she says with a warm smile.
Thank you.
And they will also peel off to their own table. Let's see. Anyone else over the course of the evening? No, that's basically it. You do have a nice kind of meal of appetizers. Plenty of villagers and people that you had saved show up to thank you personally. Titus Scarnetti and Jubrail Vishki, two of the kind of criminal underworld masterminds of the area, both thank you for rescuing them from what's it called? Jorgenfest.
Right.
Pod, the alchemist, shows up. The guy from the theater. All manner of Sandpoint villagers show up to thank you for your good deeds. And as the night is winding down, Greshy, you get up to get some water. And you hear that jingling sound again, coming from outside. Maybe the back window?
This is going to be a very common reaction as Greshy, whatever he was doing, is very quick to go and try to look out the back window and may have to kind of jump up to pull himself up to actually see enough out. If there's anything back there in the darkness he can make out.
You catch sight of a cloaked figure passing around a corner. The jingling sound continuing. They seem to be... let me repeat my mess again. They're like kind of going... They're in this back alleyway, and they're walking behind a wall. Very slowly, but you kind of just catch sight of them.
There a back door nearby here?
Yes, there is.
I'll look to make sure that people are busy, and then I'll just try and sneak out if I can. I am sneaking. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at.
Okay. So yeah, you slip out the back and sneak around the corner. The street seems to be empty when you get out here. It's quiet. You look one way, you look the other, and then you notice a strange man. Actually, it's probably here now. A strange man in a gray cloak.
I hate you so much.
His face is hooded. You can't see what's in there. There's just this kind of like gray, smoky mist seeping out from the hole where a head should be. In one hand, he has a kind of wooden gnarled staff with some kind of red threads tied up all around in it. His other arm is it looks like it's very heavily tattooed and has some various bracelets on it. He looks at you, or seems to be looking at you. Greshy, is it? He asks. Just
as last known, Who is it?
Who indeed? He lowers his free hand and lets his kind of sleeve roll up over it. His hand disappears into the sleeve, and you hear that jingling sound again.
Greshy looks around and is certain it's coming from that figure still.
Yes, it is coming from the figure still. Another catastrophe averted. The first of many apocalypses.
What exactly do you mean?
His hand emerges again from his sleeve, holding a scrap of leather and some kind of vial. Gifts for a job well done. He tosses them both to you.
Greshy will try to catch them, I suppose, especially the vial. Doesn't want to make sure that doesn't break at least.
Okay, yeah, you reach out to catch the vial first, and then give me a sure, we can do rolls. Why not? Give me a reflex save.
Sure.
Just for the flavor. Okay, sure. 41. Yeah,
41.
You guys have such high rolls. That's fine.
Should be
no,
alright.
Catching an underhanded throw is DC 50.
Just fumble.
Literally impossible for anyone to do. Okay, yeah. So you catch the vial first, and then scramble to catch the scrap of leather. And as you catch the scrap of leather, you hear that jingling sound again. This time from your hand, and you realize that this scrap of leather isn't just a scrap of leather. It's a collar.
Where is he?
He always comes back, doesn't he? The man turns and begins to walk into a shadow.
Greshy's going to run at his back and attempt to tackle him from behind.
Okay, as you
and you
do...
can hear echoing through the city him shouting, "Where's my dog?"
Yeah, you run at him to try to tackle, and you grasp at his cloak, and it just turns into mist as the man disappears.
Face plants right into the dirt.
Yeah.
What is this vial then?
For the bird, you hear whispered from above. you look up and see the Ashen Man
my God.
on a rooftop nearby.
What the hell are you?
A watcher of sorts. What your kind does, it intrigues me. But I am to play no part in these events, nor any other.
Greshy looks at the two items that the man who plays no part in these events brought him specifically and threw at him. Right. Would the thing that plays no part in these events have any better leads on where my damn dog is?
Your lead is right there, he says, just kind of gesturing at you. That is all I am at liberty to say. After
That's
all,
all I have to do.
he always comes back, he says, disappearing into a mist once more.
Well, if Greshy wasn't obsessed before, I don't think we've quite seen Greshy obsessed until now, as he kind of stumbles back inside, staring at the items in his hand. Eventually, he will make his way over to Gunn and just kind of press the vial into Gunn's open gauntlet hand, or if he's still wearing his gauntlets, I'm not sure.
I forget. Do I have the that ability on this that lets you
The
hide down
comfortable
with
armor
glamour?
thing.
Sorry, which ability?
I don't think they have the glamour rune anymore. But
Oh.
I'll probably get
no,
one.
I don't think so.
I'll have to go get one of those. I think I can take off winged now.
Probably.
You don't think that's necessary?
Or wings.
Yeah, so Greshy, you return to the table to see the place is mostly cleared out. A lot of people are already tired or worn out from the evening's events. And many people have already filtered out to go home. And yeah, it's just Asher and Gunn and maybe Jakardros hanging out at the table right now. Shillelagh would be there too. Everyone else has gone to their own rooms or what have you. Ameko's maybe at the bar. Bathana's probably gone to bed by now. Yeah. Yeah, Greshy, or Gunn, you feel Greshy tug at your arm and place something in your palm.
This.
It's for the bird, he said.
So.
I don't know. I met a creature outside. He gave me this, and Greshy holds up the collar, which jingles slightly as the tags dangle.
Is it in fact Phelan's collar?
It is the collar of inconspicuousness with the rune tags that were last attached to it. The collar itself appears to maybe be like torn. Like the back of it is actually like ripped and damaged. It's just kind of like the front half of the collar, with the rune tags dangling from it.
That doesn't seem like it was very politely taken.
Is there any tufts of hair or anything stuck in there that might actually be part of Phelan's body?
If you look at it, yeah, there's definitely, I mean, there's lots of scratches because this has gone through basically the entire campaign, I think.
Close to.
There's a few clumps of moss and a little bit of black fur. The edges where it's torn do have a bit of dried blood as well.
I'll sort of pinch and scoop some of that moss and fur and into my fingers, and then take Greshy's hand and like put that in here. Like, well, hold on to this.
Greshy does. Gently, but still holds it. in his hand.
I mean, like, here. Let me. I'll dig out like an empty vial from my bag, and then hand it to Greshy. Let me cork it.
It takes a moment for Greshy to give up, to open his hand up, but eventually he does cooperate and let you put those bits.
Hang on to this, and this might help us later.
Aye.
There are spells for that, aren't there?
We'll talk to Xantus in the morning. May go to Magdamar. There are spells, I'm sure.
Well then, if he gave you that, maybe this is some kind of medicine?
I couldn't say. Couldn't tell if it was mocking or not.
You look at the vial, and it's some kind of gray, powdery substance inside. It almost looks like granules of sugar, but gray.
This? Do you blow it on somebody? Do you snort this?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. I'll try to figure out how it might be best applied, like maybe directly to the
forehead,
eyes, or.
Sure. You attempt to identify
water
because you have quick identify.
It mixes water.
Yep. This seems like some kind of medicinal substance. Its exact properties you're not sure, but it is emanating vitality magic, I guess, in the remaster, but positive energy here in pre-master land. You imagine that it can just be like placed on the tongue and eaten, maybe absorbed through the mouth.
All right. You can try that.
I do not know what it does, though. And the man who gave it to me also gave me this. So.
How trustworthy.
Well, is anyone else still having clouded vision?
I mean, mine's not perfect, but I can see you well enough. I don't remember if I have low light vision, but I imagine effectively my low light vision's pretty trash at this point. So I just have regular vision, more or less.
Basically.
I think I'll take maybe like 5 to 10% of this substance, try and mix it with a little water, and see if Greshy's willing to drink it, if it fixes his eyes.
I'm willing to try that. I have no idea if that's going to negate the effectiveness of it overall to dilute it. But if you would like to try that, I will try that. Okay.
So you take Greshy's glass of water or maybe your glass of water, pour in like 10%.
A couple of drops, yeah.
And stir it with your knife, or you maybe wipe your knife off and stir it around, and hand it to Greshy to drink. It's now become this kind of grayish liquid. It's blended quite well, very quickly.
I know it's not too wholesome looking, but here.
Bottoms up, I suppose.
Okay. You take a swig, and you're immediately hit with this like really smoky flavor, like burnt wood chips smoke, that then kind of twists into like a sort of apple-y sweetness, and you blink, your eyes feel like they've like started to like tear up a bit, and you like have to start blinking a lot, and you like wipe your eyes, like rub your eyes, and you blink a little bit more, and you find that your vision has become more clear.
Well, is it back to about normal, or is it still kind of in between where it was and where
it seems like it's pretty close to normal. Yeah. Okay. You might want glasses, but
sure, it's definitely improved though. So
yeah.
Well, that
the rest for Rock.
Do well. Yeah. Go fix your bird.
Same procedure.
Okay. Yeah. You just mix the remainder in a glass of water,
shove it in,
and tell him to open his beak, and kneel down and open his beak, and you pour it in for him and have him drink, and he like hacks a little bit at the taste. You kind of calm them down and get him to drink the rest.
I don't know, the way you described it actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah, roasted wood chips.
He's maybe not used to eating like that smoky flavor up front. It's a real strong smoke.
Dandruff, like
a nice peaty scotch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I was thinking like the first flavor is just drinking liquid smoke by itself.
Oh, well, fair enough.
You say that like it'd be bad.
I think it would be bad.
I don't know. I've never tried it. Maybe we need to try it. Then we would know.
I've tasted drops of liquid smoke on its own.
Scared.
It's not great.
No,
you just told me I love drinking liquid smoke. I'd be like, all right, I have to leave.
The brewery there's a brewery called The Brewery, and they made a beer once called Smoking Wood, and it generally just tasted like campfire smoke. It was quite nice, and I imagine it tasted just like that, and nothing else, and no bad flavors or anything.
All right, that's fine.
It was delightful.
But okay, but yeah, Rock is tries to like clear his throat a little bit, and is also blinking his eyes, and is kind of like looking at you in one eye and then like turns with the other. I think it's kind of working, he says in Celestial to you.
Give it some time. Maybe I can boost it up with a little lay on hands action or something.
Sure. Yeah, you place a hand on his forehead and do a lay on hands, and the more positive energy surges through. And after a few minutes, it seems like, he can tell you that his, I think it's his left eye, the one that has the mark of Erastil on it. In that eye, he can see perfectly. In his other eye, he's still blind.
Completely?
Pretty close to completely. Like, it's very, very fuzzy.
Okay. Well, that's better than nothing. You can wear a cool eye patch.
Cardress.
It's not so bad. Jakardress
I don't think Jakardresses will quite fit Rock, though.
I'm sure we could find one around town somewhere. Welcome to the club, buddy. Jakardress says, raising a drink. I don't know if this is a club I want to be in, but thanks. He says in Celestial.
I'm translating.
Yeah.
I'm translating.
Okay, yeah, Gunn, you translate his sentiments. Rock kind of bristles a bit, but he says he'll be fine. Okay. Anything else you guys want to do the night of the party? Otherwise, things kind of wrap up and everything kind of slows down. Ameko will tell you guys not to help out with cleaning. She's got the rest. You can hear drunkards wandering through the streets because basically the entire town turned this into like a big festival. And so, yeah, people are just kind of wandering about everywhere. You've got deeds and keys to your new house. I didn't say that she gave you the keys, but she gave you the keys to the 3 new houses. But you've still got your nice rooms here at the at the Rusty Dragon, which Ameko is more than happy to keep open for you anytime you guys want. Eye patches are sure. I'm certainly somewhere they've got eye patches in town. They just got to make them big enough for Little Rock. But okay, so the night passes. No more intrusions or anything like that. Jakardros lets you know, Asher, that he and the boys are gonna go head back up to Turtleback Ferry in a couple days. I know you've been out saving the world and all, but if you're interested, we could use another Black Arrow, he says, holding out a hand.
Oh, yes, that actually sounds great. I might come up and visit after I help Greshy with tying up some odds and ends. That would be a wonderful thing.
Of course. Well, I mean, you and Shalelu are kin after all. It'd be good to have you.
Yay. Asher is very excited to have family time. But, I've lost my connection.
Oh yeah, I also did.
Whoops.
That was weird. I guess the server reset or something.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He
Catch you later.
We will.
Jakardra says.
And Asher hugs him again. Does not give a shit. Big hug. Hey, I almost died
he
like
says,
8 times.
This time, since there's fewer people around, he'll return the hug and can't keep making a habit out of this boy.
Wait, why not? What's wrong with hugging?
Nothing, I suppose.
That's right. It's the manliest thing you can do. Hug another man who you're related to.
You sense that Jakardros has some issues to work through.
That's fine. I have issues too. Like my mom is dead and I want to hug people I'm related to now. So we have to find a middle ground.
Did the entire server die? What just happened? I'll reboot it.
I'm stuck out. There's something bad happened to it.
All right.
Oops.
Reopening Foundry. Refresh that.
So,
okay.
Not that this is my fault, but I literally happened to hit the refresh button, and then you said something happened, and it wouldn't let me back in. And I thought that maybe I did something wrong, but then the whole server reset, and I'm pretty confident me refreshing my browser should not be doing that. And if it does do that, it is definitely not my fault.
It was an anomaly. It was Karzug's ghost.
Karzug, bastard.
Oh no, it was the Rainbow Cat's
Oh, what did he do?
Revenge
he did like a
ghost.
strike. Okay, sorry. So where were we? You know what? I'm not going to edit out. YouTube and podcast, you can enjoy our flailing. Okay, so you have a good night of rest for the most part. Greshy, maybe you're haunted by bad dreams of that damn jingling sound. And you're just like searching alleyways, all sorts of places that you've been to before, and nothing's working. You don't find him anywhere. When you get up early in the morning, or perhaps late in the morning, as you had a pretty long night, there is downstairs, Ameko is sitting at a table with a familiar little gnomish fellow.
Oh my goodness, Francis Plum.
Bright purple hair. I need to hook the camera up again so it'll zoom my camera. Yeah, so a little gnome, bright purple hair, purple and gold, like fine noble shirt. He's got a golden monocle in, and he's very piercing blue eyes. There you are. he says, seeing you, and waves to you all. Good, you're up. Your gift arrived, she says, waving at you.
Brought us a living man.
Not the man, but the thing he's carrying. She says, gesturing at the table, where there is a basically a like black leather like briefcase with golden clasps on the table. I had to search pretty far to find these, but this guy seems to be the only merchant who carries this sort of thing. Yes, and when I heard it was some of my favorite customers, of course I had to do whatever I could to bring them here.
Oh my goodness, what is it?
Yeah, he's never really let us down. He's a good guy.
And you have given me quite the funds. Here, actually, and he as he's like reaching to turn the briefcase around towards you guys, he stops and like looks at. He's like squinting at Gunn.
Oh, me? I thought it was going to be Greshy.
He doesn't even seem to have noticed Greshy. He's just looking. He's just
still wearing his cloak.
Something wrong?
Yes. What's that? He says, pointing at your chest.
I cover my nose and then look down.
No. On your armor there, that rune. What is that rune? I've never seen that rune before.
Greshy's name.
Oh, that is. You'll have to ask Greshy about that one. That's a new invention.
An invention? He looks at you with a coy smile. I did not know that you were an inventor after my own heart. What pray tell is this rune?
It helps protect against certain kinds of attacks, spells, magic, that sort of thing. It's based on an old Aslanti creation.
Oh, a rune of protection. That's very interesting. I've been working on such a thing, but resilient. I would love to discuss the. Sorry, we have things to discuss here, but I would like to discuss whatever this pattern. It seems interesting. But none of business talk. Business talk here. He slides the briefcase towards you.
Let Gunn open it, or whoever's tall enough to be at the table.
Sure. Gunn.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Let's have everybody step up.
There's two classes. You two can open it, and Greshy will stand there and not be able to reach.
You 3, 2, 1 open both classes at the same time.
We're like compelled at this point.
You pop the briefcase open, and inside is it's set into like little kind of foam, or like it's like a wooden insert. There's a singular wand, a scroll case, and a set of they look like little metal rods of varying colors and like made of varying like colors and crystals. We heard that. I heard that you might be in need of some tools for planar travel. And Miss Mako thought that it might be worth commissioning a set of tuning forks for you. And a wand of plane shift, should you need it, as well as some scrolls.
Yes, this will come in quite handy. Thank you. Fair.
Do you like it? Mako says, looking at Greshy. I felt so bad about...
runs over and hugs her leg.
I'm sorry, he does this to all new people.
He is so filled with love. No,
it's really all right. I was actually, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind joining you guys in the search too, if you're planning on searching.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I need to get my hands on some sort of ability to scry more reliably, but once I do, with this as well, thank you, Swanzaplam. We will definitely talk about runes, but we need to find my dog first.
Oh, dog it is. Well, you've got my scrolls if you ever need to contact me, of course. And actually, I may just find myself staying here in Sandpoint for at least a time. Though I do have a trip to Corvosa soon, perhaps. I'll think about it. But yes, I would love to talk to you about these runes of yours. Maybe we can work out some more deals, exchange of information, say.
Sounds reasonable.
Well,
but yes, later.
I won't keep you any further. And he hops down off of his chair and makes his way upstairs to his own room.
Knew I took planar survival for a reason. Never got to use it, and now I can.
All right. Well, what do you guys do?
Greshy's first going to make sure he learns the actual spell plane shifts from the scroll. So we'll take some time to do that, however long that's going to take.
Yeah, you take a day to learn plane shift and practice it and get the materials for it. And yeah, are you able to cast it as is, or
it's a primal spell?
Okay, cool. Then yeah, you're able to learn it.
Yeah, I did double check, but yes.
Okay, yeah, it's 7th level spell. So yeah, you're able to learn it off the scroll. And within a couple days' time, you guys are ready for planar travel should you need it.
Should I need it? I don't know.
Should we need it?
I'll be looking around. I think there must be a way to locate Phelan, given that we have some of the fur and moss in his collar.
Okay, yeah, you start looking. You want to go look around.
But I don't know the spell. Yeah, I want to find what kind of, there's... I know that things like that have power and have a connection to their... So I think there should be a way to use divination to track that.
There certainly are such spells, though they're fairly limited in terms of range. I think that locate is the spell I'm thinking of, but
mechanically out of character. The spell I'm thinking of is discern location. It's uncommon.
Is that the
and it is not primal. Yes. Well, no, that is the version that can tell, that uses a piece of the body and can tell you what plane.
I see. Okay.
The target is on.
Yeah, you guys could go hunting for that first, or I guess in the day's time that Greshy is learning this spell, Gunn, if you want, you can go hunting for...
I'll ask certainly Father Xantus and Stranzelplum if they know anyone who would be a master diviner or who know this type of magic.
Yeah, they actually have a few leads, and you actually end up needing to go to Magnamar to follow up on them. So again, another couple days pass. You're able to find someone who does know the spell, or if not, maybe they don't actually know the spell. They probably just have an old tome or something that has it. Actually, wait a sec. You guys have a bunch of old spell books. Do you have Karzug's spell book?
We would have taken it from him if he had it left over. Yeah, so
it has discern location in it.
Well, that was a hard thing to find, wasn't it? It took a very long time to search that, but
so this brings up why don't we just read his weird spell book, guys?
So yeah, maybe you
has
do like
something
a couple days of like trying to go around, search for it, like chase some dead leads, and eventually realize, wait a sec, we've got a bunch of old wizard spellbooks. You check Karzug's spellbook, and in fact, he does have discern location.
Well, the key was we had to find out about it. So like
True. So yeah, you did have to spend some time learning about the spell, and then eventually you decide to check Karzug's notes to see if he's got it, and yeah, you find it.
Ash is just sitting there with all of Karzug's books, reading through them and like eating chips. Like,
Is there a way to retrain spells into your repertoire? There is, right? Downtime activity?
Yes, yeah, it's downtime activity to
Okay.
retrain. You'd learn the spell and then retrain it in. So yeah, it's a divine spell, so yeah, you can do that.
I'll be able to retrain to learn discern location.
Okay.
So yeah, another, like, you spend some time doing that, training into this, you're like all preparing for this planar travel journey that you're going to go on. It maybe, takes a couple weeks to get all set up. But once that's done, you guys go planar hunting.
Aye.
yeah.
I guess you learn the target's exact location, building, community, country, and plane of existence. So yeah, when you finally, some weeks later, use the bits of material you have from the collar, use discern location, and you get a what does it actually tell you? You learn the name. You get Gunn in your mind's eye, this vision of this like broiling, like swirling mist of like black and purple. It feels somewhat familiar, and you can kind of see like some shadows of a city in the background. A name lingers on your tongue. This feels like the plane of the Dreamlands, the Nightmare Realms, specifically.
No, I was hoping it wasn't that one.
And a phrase crosses your lips: Lang.
No.
Lang?
It has to be
Lang. L-E-N-G.
Okay.
There are like millions of planes, and I had to be Lang.
Does that mean something to you?
Karzug's domain, his little pocket dimension, was between the material plane and the Dreamlands. So it seems like maybe Phelan got squished out into the Dreamlands. That's also where those weird, creepy guys who were operating the device were from. It's where the spiders were from. It's where the Scarlet Walkers were from. It's
all the spiders.
Kind of perfect.
White Walkers, or Wind Walkers.
There's at least a few people there who owe us a favor. So.
It's
Do
just
they
something.
do favors?
I have no idea.
do they do favors there? I don't know.
They asked us to break the machine. We broke the machine.
I don't remember that feeling like a favor.
That was more of a work here
Win-win,
anyway, might
but-
as well do so. Well,
It was a win-win.
we're going to the Dream Realm. Well, Greshy's going to the Dream Realm. I don't know if anyone else is coming with.
I will go.
Of course.
Cannot leave Greshy to go alone to the dream horror realm.
Well, the Three Musketeers are in. You decide that Dream Realms it is. You then embark on what is a couple months journey. You pass through the ethereal realm into the dream realms, and you're probably having to do a lot of like searching the dream realm, leaving, coming back. It seems like Phelan is moving very rapidly, and every time you like cast it, you're like not quite able to catch up with him. And it takes a few months of like searching and trying to narrow down his position in the dream realms. You meet all sorts of strange creatures there, more of these strange denizens of the dream worlds, more of these spiders, though initially none that you know. more strange. Yeah, lots of bizarre creatures.
How bizarre!
Weren't those little spirit creatures also the ones that talked to us when we were wandering around in the mist?
Oh yeah, those
We
little
followed one of
wisp
them.
guys, the little ice wisp thing. I think it was. I forget what it was exactly. But long story short, you spend a couple months, and eventually
summer romance with in the Lang realm.
Actually, give me a survival check.
Asher.
Asher's the one doing the planar tracking.
Asher would know the better.
A survival. Where are you? There you are. Oops. I'm not hunting. Unfortunately, did not hunt prey Phelan. So.
But when we get closer, we can use locate to find
36.
the direction.
36. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's never mind. That's 500 feet. That's
yeah. You have
very close.
You have to be pretty close. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, it takes about 4 months of searching to get close enough to Phelan to eventually use locate and pin down his location. And when you do, you end up having to fight through some kind of strange dark tower filled with all sorts of monstrosities, and at the very top chamber, in a strange prison cell, is a little dog lying, beaten, battered, bit like tatters of leathers still clinging to it from its barding, little bits of moss just kind of scattered around it. You run up to the bars, and it stirs and looks over at you, Greshy. It's Phelan, but in puppy form, how he looked half a year ago at this point, or almost a year ago at this point. He is small. He looks very weak, drained of energy. You're not sure what creatures held him here or why. You just fought through a shitload of creatures to get here, but they were not very forthcoming. They were all speaking weird Aklo shit at you. You couldn't possibly understand what they were doing.
I wasn't really interested in finding out.
Not really, no.
Details.
But he looks at you with longing and lets out like kind of a weak bark.
I'm gonna run over and pick him up.
Okay, you
very gently, but
break the bars and then.
I'm sorry. I thought I opened the bars.
Smash the bar.
I will fucking smash these bars. I'll pick the lock if they're locked. I don't know.
It's just like opens the crawls in.
I am so angry.
The bars are dealt with by some means. Like your eyes flash and they're just gone. You rush over to Phelan and pick him up and hold him in your hands. He weakly and whines and licks at your face.
Okay. We'll get you home. Sorry,
do that again.
Won't do that again. Why would you do this to us?
That's why we don't
Bad
fight colorful spears.
It's like, I hope you learned your lesson, both of you.
You hug Phelan tight.
Then, if all is well, then we are getting the fuck out of here.
All right, with that snap of the fingers, phase shift or plane shift out, and return to the normal world for a time. A thing you notice over these months of trying to find and save Phelan, you start to realize that your powers, the three of you, your powers are starting to wane from their peak of when you fought Karzugans in Shough. You're not like losing level, like you're not losing access to spells or anything like that. Your stats are just kind of dwindling down a bit from their like level 20 levels to, over the course of like these few months, you've maybe dropped from like your core stats being around level 20 mechanically to them being around level 18. And they feel like they're just slowly weakening. Like you're still very strong and powerful, but you're not quite able to like reach the kind of peaks of skill that you had when you were like filled with greed energy. If you take time to sort of analyze that, which you might, Greshy, you'd very quickly come to the conclusion that a lot of that greed power that you guys had been dissipating through Karzug's ritual, through Asher's bow, has been slowly bleeding off over time. Especially with no
using it, right?
Yeah, and with no rune well to sort of return to and get reinfused into you, it's just kind of evaporating over time.
So what you're saying is we need to start carving or tattooing more people with the.
I mean, you could.
Right.
Unfortunately, you would need the rune well again, and you don't have that. You'd have.
We'll just make our own rune well with blackjack and hookers. Isn't there a rune well downstairs? Shouldn't we just hijack that one?
You destroyed that one. Yeah.
Well, but we could put it back together again. It's already Wrath themed, and Asher's got the Wrath rune. And yeah,
True.
Nobody's mentioned that. Asher's been hiding that pretty well.
It's under my hair.
I mean, you realize that you could try. It does seem like rune wells require blood though. So if not your own blood, it would require the blood of others.
I'm like 70% blood.
I'm mostly blood, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Asher's not making a rune well, but
hypothetically,
we could do anything. Karzu can do it, I can do it.
But in any case, you return to Sandpoint. I forgot to mention Mako, but she did go with you on a lot of these journeys, and she is happy as well to have found Phelan and returned with you back to Sandpoint. Over the next few days, actually, yeah, a few days after you return. Sorry, I'm trying to find, where's Phelan? There he is. Oh,
he's so big.
Big puppy.
He's not supposed to be that big. Where is appearance?
Big in spirit. Ooh.
There you go. All right. Yeah, Phelan has kind of reset to, even if you like fully heal him, which you presumably would. He seems to still be like, he has used up all of his energy and is basically just a normal puppy form again. Still stronger than before, or stronger than he was at that level originally, but still very small. Maybe not super equipped for doing a lot of battle anymore.
He doesn't have to anymore.
But he could still kill a man instantly.
True. He can kill any level 1 or level half people.
That's right.
A couple days after you return, unless you guys had immediate things that you wanted to do, you get a message from the post that Mako delivers to you, or Bathana would probably deliver it to you. It's from Fen. She says that she's got somebody that she wants you all to meet in Magnamar, and would love if you could stop by at some point.
Well, once Phelan seems to be travel ready, I'd be fine to do so, and I'd happy to see Fen. The rest of you, I don't know if you want to come or not.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing from and talking with the Pathfinder Society, which I suppose this is probably related to.
Well, she did join that, those folks. I did want to mention retroactively, before we went on our months of adventuring, at some point we would have sent notice to the lady watching the house in Magnamar to make sure that the house is still there and hasn't been burned to the ground, and that, she's actually been paid appropriately for her services. Retroactive. All that jazz. But that aside.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm presuming that you also way overpay her again, and she's more than happy to have stayed on.
Oh, sure.
It's a fairly easy job for her. And when you return, like a week from now, you head out to Magnamar. You stay at the old Foxglove. It's not the Foxglove Townhouse. It's been nicely cleaned up. It's looking pretty pristine. She went and dusted it and everything for your visit. And I don't remember if I gave her a name. I think I did, and I do not remember what it was.
Someplace in some notes way back when I don't have available, unfortunately.
But yeah, everything is fairly nice, if a bit Spartan, because you didn't really redecorate after you left. But yeah, you're able to arrange this meeting, which is at the Pathfinder Lodge it's a place called Hyde March Manor, which surprisingly is in the center of the Lord Mayor's Menagerie, that big park / sort of zoo that Greshy tried to free the animals from.
Try again.
Storm of Vengeance, I think, is a spell that we can prepare. Sorry, continue. I'm just plotting. You're fine.
So I'm going to just keep using this map here because I don't really want to pull up the Magnamar map. But you, when you enter when you make your way to the Pathfinder Lodge, outside is Little Fen, the halfling woman with. She had dyed. I think her hair was black before, but she had dyed it blonde since you last saw her. Bright green eyes, a kind of coy grin on her face. Greshy, there you are, and your friends too. Greshy, you look very. Wait, did you get smaller?
I did shrink a bit. Side effects of magic. Fey magic.
Oh. Well, that happens, I guess. I should introduce you to my party later. But first, I'm excited, hopefully, to introduce you to my boss, I guess. She says, kind of stammering, just come on, this way. Boss. And she'll lead you into the manor.
All right.
She's heard all about your adventures dealing with this Runelord Karzu guy, and she's actually been well, I'll let her talk to you about it. But
how did she find out? Did you talk to the society already, Gunn?
Not directly. I don't think I had any connection, but I did tell a lot of people to tell them.
Yeah, I believe you actually might have sent a sending specifically to Fen to tell the Pathfinder Society about what you were doing in case you guys failed. Right before you went up into the pinnacle of avarice.
Oh, so she knew in advance that's what happened. Okay, so it's reasonable to put 2 and 2 together when we came back.
Yes.
Okay, well, still.
So, yeah, she's excited to introduce you to her boss, the venture captain of the Hyde March Manor Pathfinder Lodge. Let's see if I can bring up her as well.
Watermelons?
Is that you?
Watermelon question mark?
Oh, she's got a crown.
She's really extra looking.
She does look a bit.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. Heroes of Sandpoint, I presume. I'm Sheila Hydemarch, venture captain here at this newly opened Pathfinder Lodge. I've heard tale of your, well, frankly, amazing exploits, and I was hoping to learn more about this Runelord threat that you've discovered. It seems like a number of events have been happening all over Varizia and perhaps beyond that might be connected, and I was just hoping to get a few more details for an investigation that I'm heading up. If you don't mind, of course.
I thought we took a lot care of the Runelords.
That particular Runelord won't be a problem anymore, but there may be others out there.
Oh, I'm sure they won't actually be a problem. Gunn, what do you have to worry about?
There's 6 others.
There were 6 others.
So we've heard, but you never can be too careful about these sorts of things. Should any of the other 6 try to rise, well, I want to make sure that Varizia, or Galarian as a whole, is ready for them. So please, any information you have on the Runelords or Thassalon that you've learned in your travels, I'm all ears and all notes. And she's got like a set of scrolls laid out on, or like notebooks and scrolls and things laid out on the table that are all blank and ready for her to like start scribbling in.
I was getting all set to write a book, but then I forgot all the details.
Oh no.
Oh, well, that's a bit unfortunate, she says, casting a look at
Was a
Fem.
side effect of leaving that plane.
Oh, that's curious in and of itself. That would be interesting to know about.
Ashley's got a good memory, though.
Oh, well then. I'd love to hear all of your takes on anything that you found, especially if you've got any artifacts themselves, perhaps that we could study. Literally anything that could help us defend against the Runelords would be worth learning about.
I have gross water. I have this water I found underneath the Sandpoint by the
Water?
temple.
She kind of like... She seems
Extremely
curious about it.
Asher starts taking just... I don't even think I have...
Did you keep
a physical item
on
for
my
it?
person. Let me look at what I have. Like, what trinkets can I whip out? I have like gross water.
Like we have like 5 of those rings.
Oh yeah, I have a ring.
Or maybe 6.
Yeah, you have plenty of signature rings and things, yeah.
Are we holding on to the Revelation Quill?
We have
That's
the
our
Revelation
best
Quill.
friend. He said, "Good luck, friends. We can't get rid of our friends."
Oh,
We have
fair call.
We have all kinds of other, what are they called? The level 18 pinnacle
Apex
gears.
Items, yeah.
Apex gears.
yeah, we have the
I was
Apex.
gonna say, as I pull out Mender, are the Runeforged weapons themselves retaining their power as well? I know that they came from a slightly separate source, but
Yes, the Runeforged weapons still seem to be they don't seem to be growing any further. They were growing alongside you up until the pinnacle. And they've ceased growing. They seem to have kind of solidified themselves. Like they've and actually you can't modify them any further. If you try to adjust the runes or like add or remove any runes from them, it seems like you can't anymore. Like these artifacts are very set in stone now. All of the runes that were engraved have now kind of melded with the object and its identity as a thing. They've just become full-on artifact items now.
Do we still seem to have access to those final abilities that they
Yes, you do.
opened up?
Yep.
Okay.
I have all the books that
Yeah, that's true.
the
Spellbook,
guy
we
killed
got-
everyone and
we
took
got artifact
the books.
weapons.
So you guys don't need to
the weapons.
You don't need to go through detail or like all the details of what you
Lots
share.
of things.
She's just we fade to black as she just like interrogates you on like everything that happened involving the Runelords. If you've got any objects that you're not using that you want to leave with her, she will definitely take a look at them. She's really interested in this subject and is trying to find. She's worried that Karzug might not be the only Runelord to rise, and is looking for what can be done in the event that any of the other ones appear.
I can think of two things: the quill and that gold sword. As soon as
Chellen.
Yeah, as soon as the V lady is
don't touch Chellen.
Gone. Viorian. As soon as Viorian's gone, it's like, all right. What do we do with that sword now?
Yeah, it's currently just been sitting in.
We
in a
can
bag,
sell it to the society.
Keep mage handing it until we find somebody.
Right.
Oh, she doesn't necessarily want to buy or keep anything permanently. She's also willing to just have you guys stay here for a week on her dime and like just talk to you about all this stuff and take a look at your items. She doesn't need to keep.
Oh, sure. If she doesn't want to keep the Chellen, that's fine. I just don't want us giving it away for free. That thing's worth a lot of money.
I don't want to keep it. That's a horrible
It's also very dangerous.
I'm aware, and I also don't necessarily trust the Pathfinder Society to be any more trustworthy than anyone else to hold on to it. So
we should bury it in the ground.
I mean, I agree.
If you're trying
I heard that
to
some
get...
issues with the museum recently.
If you're trying to get rid of it, then you could talk to her about that and decide on some kind of plan to get rid of Chellen. And I think the Burning Glaive, I believe you have that too. You have Arbitrage
we do.
as well. So yeah, you discuss with her some ideas on like how you could get rid of these artifacts. And that happens off screen. If those get destroyed, they get destroyed. If they don't get destroyed, maybe other characters run across them in another game. But that happens.
Are they like, well, Chellen is pretty evil. Could the other one be talked into not being so evil anymore? Or is that one just evil too?
You try to interact with the Burning Glaive while you're here, and Arbitrage seems pretty evil, and it's more intelligent than Chellen. And it can actually speak telepathically, and it there's an incident where it blows up a room of the manor with like an explosive fireball when you guys try to interact with it. Eventually you find some ways to kind of lock the magic down on it while trying to converse with it, and still nothing very useful.
Does it swear at us every time we take it out? Does it get more and more upset?
Yeah, in Thessalonian,
You're
perhaps.
All stupid.
The other two things we should tell them about would be the library and the city.
Last. All right.
Other than all the stuff that we have.
Yeah, you inform them of those things so they know about that. And yeah, that's basically your time in Magnamar is helping them out. You come to learn that the menagerie is actually partly managed by the Pathfinder Society. And a lot of the creatures there are actually taxidermy or like magical constructs. Others are rare creatures that they're keeping for basically study purposes. And weirdly, Sheila has I think he's a gorilla, who acts as the manor's bodyguard, but also seems to protect all of the animals in the menagerie. This seems like a new deal that she's worked out. The menagerie was not managed by the Pathfinder Society when you were last here, but since she has since bought the manor and has since taken over the menagerie.
I see. All right.
So a lot of
studying animals.
As I'm suddenly suspicious of this strange and fortuitous turn of events for the menagerie.
It's perhaps a detail that I didn't realize was true. But anyway. It's something I've maybe learned about today.
We'll see.
But in lore, she is just, in the intervening months, she has purchased the building, set up the Pathfinder Society here, which was basically not here when you first came to Magmar.
Interesting.
Okay. But with that said, your interactions with Sheila and Fen come to an end, and you have a few months left. Anything that you guys want to get up to in the meantime? It sounds like your friends basically want to do a reunion at the... or you get invited back to Sandpoint for the Swallowtail Festival. It's like the 22nd of some month. I think the September
Erastus?
equivalent. No, not Erastus.
What's not Lamachan, is it?
Now that
it's the one
now
before
that they've had
Lamachan.
some time to get their shit together, my plan was to set up some kind of help set up some kind of diplomatic relationships with the giant nations and the human nations.
Oh, okay.
Where they could have like maybe a peace treaty, maybe a firm border, maybe some trade. Can involve some goblins as well.
Okay. Yeah. So Gunn, you basically set to work to try and. There's still a lot of giants milling about the lowlands. There's still a bunch of giants in the Storwell Plateau. There's the Shawanti who live in the area, the native Varisians, the goblins, which have now taken to trade in a very strange way. They've been coming to Sandpoint and just dropping a bunch of like random junk outside the gates and yelling trade, trade, trade until people like throw stuff at them. And then they gleefully take the random stuff they're given and then go running off into the woods with it. And that's been sort of annoying. So they need somebody to like Sandpoint begs you to please do something about this.
I would invite the rest of the party along on this adventure as well.
I'm gonna go be diplomatic.
So yeah, you start mediating a lot of these conflicts to sort of help bring a bit more peace and stability to the region of northern Varisia. And
we know that it helps that we know the leaders of the Shawanti and the giants.
Yep, or at least of the Shikirikwa, the Hawk clan.
That's true.
Okay, that's what Gunn is mostly up to in those intervening months. Greshy, what do you want to do?
Probably going to start working on this living garden idea, and we'll start establishing the first base of the Order of the Ironroot.
Okay.
Now that we have Phelan back, we can start trying to go back to being a druid proper again, if we ever were one in the first place.
All right. So yeah, you the house that was given to Asher is maybe the one that's got like the kind of biggest space on it. So you just bulldoze it with some earthquake spells or something similar, and replace it with a nice little kind of park grove, in which you start planting all various kinds of trees. And through your adventures over the coming months and years, you always make sure to like find seeds of interesting trees to bring them back here to plant. You also, begin realize that you have like a kind of unique outlook on druid craft, and decide to start a circle of druids for yourself, and begin the process of slowly recruiting other people who are naturally inclined, who find your particular blend of urban druidism to be interesting. And you amass over a couple of months, you maybe get like 4 or 5 followers.
That's really good for a couple of months, honestly.
They're maybe not the most skilled followers either, but it's a couple people. You're not exactly gifted in with the language of people, so. But you set up this grove in Sandpoint, and get started on this college idea, or circle idea. Asher, What are you up to in the remaining few months?
I saw this dragon, and I don't think I can make any progress with her, but I sure hope to.
Okay.
Ask around, knowing if anyone knows anything about this very particular scenario, and go from there.
Okay, you do some research on her particular condition. You maybe ask Greshy a bit, you ask Gunn a bit, their opinions. And what you come to is that, yes, she's permanently polymorphed. She is like permanently changed into this form. There are sort of two ways you can think of to undo it. One way is the kind of arcane route. It would be to study, learn arcane magic, or find somebody who's really good at arcane magic. And basically get them to do the same thing again, but in reverse, like polymorph her into a human. They wouldn't necessarily be able to make her exactly like she was before, because they might not know what she looked like before. You could go find some depictions of her from the spared if you wanted to try to get a close approximation of what she might have looked like. And she would become intelligent again, but unclear whether or not she'd get her memories back. The alternative approach is to go more of the kind of nature magic route, and try to find a way to basically awaken her mind again. This would be basically giving her human intelligence back, or like just elevating her mind back to human or higher levels of intelligence. This would be something akin to an awaken ritual, like you would do to awaken an animal. You noticed that that gorilla in the Pathfinder Society lodge was really intelligent, so they might know something about it. The other people who might know how to do this are the Shikiri Kwa, who work a lot with animals. And you know that this, talking to people like Greshy would know about this, like it's a thing. You can make animals like more sentient. Again, this might not give her memories back. Actually, this has more of a chance to give her memories back than the other way, but it's not permanently changing her into a human. Though she is a dragon, she might just be able to, like, if she gets her brain back, she might be able to turn herself back into a human herself.
That's kind of what I was thinking of, like, if she got smart, she can then be like, oh, I can figure this out if I want to, or maybe she thinks being a dragon's cool.
And she was human, Adam, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if she was a different species.
Yeah, she was a Thessalonian human, yeah.
Okay.
Or it seems like
it. Were the spared human originally?
The spared were human originally, yes. They've just lived underground for a very, very, very long time and have basically evolved in a different way.
Make sure you get some sunlight every so often, otherwise you turn out like the spared.
Also, they had a lot of, like, magic radiation.
Yeah.
The whole tangled situation is concerning.
Earthfall. But yeah, sorry, which way did you want to go, Asher?
Probably the nature route would be the one that I would go.
Okay, so you decide to, and then which branch are you more interested in? Do you want to go to the Shawanti, or do you want to try it through the Pathfinder Society?
The Shawanti, because Ash doesn't want to go to Magnamar.
All right, having had enough of Magnamar, you make your way out to the Shawanti lands to deal once again. It takes a little bit of doing to find. Actually, I mean, you've got the ability to locate people now, but you do find what's her name? Lanali Speaks with Wind, and her tribe of people. These are the Shawanti that you had worked with during your assault on Jorgenfist. And she is more than happy to try and help you out. And yeah, you spend these few months working with them, learning some of their ways, and basically learning a kind of advanced form of this awaken ritual to use on Mesmina. And when you finally are able to cast it, it seems to work.
That's good.
She doesn't immediately. Oh, you might ask her, like, do you remember anything? All I remember. She can only speak to you in Thessalonian, actually.
And I know Thessalonian.
It's true. You know Thessalonian, so
yeah.
She seems to only really remember her name and some very, very vague details. She tells you like a little bit about her birth. She remembers engaging in a spell duel with Karzug, but beyond that, details of her life are very, very hazy. But she thanks you for like bringing clarity to her mind once again. And I don't know how to repay you. I don't really know what to do with this newfound life.
Oh, well, I don't need payment. I just didn't like that Karzug did this to you. So I thought I would help you with that. But I don't know, it's up to you. And Asher will try and fill her in on all the stuff that he knows about her.
Okay.
To see if that can help, like, jog anything that she might want to do.
It doesn't
so
seem...
she's always free to hang out with him if she doesn't want to do any of that. So the option's open.
Yeah, she doesn't immediately remember, or like you try to jog her memory and everything still seems very, very fuzzy to her. But in explaining the situation with the spared, she decides, actually, sorry, I was just returning her to normal size. I could grab her. Perhaps my place is with them. You said that some of them were going to explore the world, right? Maybe they
I believe so.
Maybe they need a protector, she says, kind of bristling with electricity.
That would be a good idea. They didn't seem super strong from when I saw them, and the world is rather new to them, I think. So it's probably good to have somebody around.
And it's my fault that they are in this mess to begin with, it seems. If only I could have done more. I feel like this is perhaps my calling.
Well, all I know is that they really seem to like you. They think of you fondly. And I'm sure they'd be pleased to have you back.
Maybe I'll adapt a different name for them, but yes, maybe that does sound good.
So they might be scared when they first see you, because there was a blue dragon that was very mean to them. So be cautious with that. Don't just like appear.
Perhaps you wouldn't mind helping me with that then?
Oh, yes. I can certainly help you.
If you don't mind the one last favor.
Yes, I will definitely try and help be diplomatic. I'll use my, what is it, the no cause for alarm very liberally.
Wait.
It's like, wait, everybody stop it. Oh, they're running away.
Okay, so with the help of, so maybe you return to Sandpoint with Ms. Mina, get Gunn's help to locate Morgiv, who was one of the spared who decided to leave Zinsha last. You go fly out to them. You find out, yes, they've in fact been having a lot of trouble dealing with the wilds. And you introduce Mesmina by perhaps some other name, and she stays on to guide and protect the spared. and says that you're always
in dragon form.
Oh yes, in dragon form. Yeah, she hasn't quite learned. She might regain spells once again someday, but she doesn't have them now. Yeah, she decides to stay on with them as a protector and guardian, and invites you to come hang out with them at any time you wish.
Yeah, a not quite dragon, but dragon friend.
Yeah.
After Asher's whole problems with dragons from the start,
All right.
feels
And
a little
then-
better about himself.
I guess you then spend whatever remaining time returning to Jakardros at Fort Rannoch. Go do some bonding with him for a while. And at some point, if you talk to Shalelu, she says that she's given up the search for Razorhorn. After you guys had defeated Razorhorn and chased him away, he seemed to flee very, very far north into the land of the Lenorm Kings. She had been searching for him for some time while you guys were at Zinchalas, but he seemed to have just totally disappeared. She's been kind of hunting for him in these past few months, but has finally just kind of come to terms. Maybe she should just let him be, and has returned to. She's basically hanging out in the Riddleport Sandpoint areas, doing her normal thing. Okay, and I think that's all of that. So, last thing. So, I believe it is Rova. It's like Rova 22nd. I thought I wrote it down, but I can't find it in my notes.
On the first day of autumn, which would be probably 22 Arova.
Yes.
21 Arova.
Yeah. Okay, so 4708 AR, the 22nd of Rova. The party gathers once again in Sandpoint for the Swallowtail Festival. As the festivities are beginning, there is a big commotion outside the town gates to the north, where the guards have spotted a huge group of goblins, led by Gogmert, the guy you left in charge.
Oh boy.
And they're just kind of actually nicely lined up and peacefully waiting.
They want a party.
They summon Gunn to the gates the guard summon Gunn to the gates, confused as to what's going on. And you let them know that they've been invited. Of course they can come. These goblins have changed. And though anxious, they allow the goblins to come through at the request of a hero Sandpoint. And so everyone gathered in front of the cathedral. Once again, you hear Father Xanthus drone through his long speech, release the butterflies into the evening sky, surrounded by friends and family, former enemies, friends, a dragon, a small puppy, and a big eagle flying through the sky. And with that, our adventure concludes.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
That was
all
nice.
alive.
You live.
Oh, yay.
All right.
Two of
That
us
went really.
died.
That went way longer than I expected it to. I wanted to let you guys ask some questions though real quick. So let's do that real fast.
Oh, God.
We'll do just lightning round. If there's any questions for me, where we go? Town. Okay. Were there any adventure?
I got nothing at the moment.
All right.
I'm brain dead. Apologies.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
I will sure shoot you questions later.
Oh yeah, feel free. But in case the listening audience wanted to hear my answers to anything, Asher, you look like you have some questions.
Oh, do I?
Do you?
I was wondering, like,
do
what was your like most favorite like part to run of everything?
Ooh,
that
favorite
you like
part to
enjoyed?
run.
Like that we were doing, and you're like, oh, this is pretty fun for me too.
Oh, what was my favorite part that was really fun for me? I really liked how you guys approached Fort Rannoch, I think. I enjoyed both times you went there. The kind of approach, fail, retreat, try again.
Do slightly better.
Yeah. I think like my favorite just kind of humorous moment is the whole incident around Tree Stride. When you were trying to figure out, I made a clip video of that because it was my funniest moment. That's like my favorite memory is you guys arguing about whether or not you can tree stride into people.
We haven't tried yet.
Other favorite moments, I loved Greshy burning the sawmill down. I loved. I actually really liked Gunn's death. To the chain lightning. I thought that was really cool.
It was such a cool. It was a really cool moment.
I jumped out of the way and he died.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where like the dice tell a really fun story. I liked Phelan disappearing. I thought that was surprise. I wasn't expecting it. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Nobody was expecting
that. I actually really liked your interactions with the quill, the Revelation quill. I thought you asked fun questions for it, and it ended up being more
Adam
of a
was good about that
than I expected. I ended up liking a lot of the
giving that quill to Broderick Quaint, and we maybe should have done so anyway. Just let him ask all the questions he wants, and then would just be so annoyed by all of the pester.
Turns out that's actually how you destroy the.
Yeah, he destroys his own quill because he's sick of it.
It specifically tells him exactly how to destroy this thing, just to be done with it.
The only one who knows.
Yeah, perhaps he could still end up with it somehow. Would the party become attached to that you didn't think was going to get much attention? Oh shit! There's so many random things.
That's in line with what I was going to ask too.
Things that you guys hyper focused on.
Yeah.
There was a time really, really early on where I mentioned some random informant, like the fox or something, and you guys went who is this guy? What does he know? He's just a random NPC I just made up. He's nobody. And they're like, shit, I called him the fox, and he's related to fox level. It's so confusing. What else did you guys?
Our cabin hunt was a whole thing for a long time.
Yep. What other things did you guys run with? I should remember these better, but I mean, there were plenty of times where you I feel like I was pretty good in this adventure of trying to if you guys went too far off a deep end or I saw you were walking towards a ledge and just be like, no, actually that's a wall, please don't go there. And thankfully you guys were very amenable to that.
There are edges to this adventure. Stop trying to boundary break.
I was a big fan of the sequence that led to the adoption of Rock Shough.
Oh, yes, that's true. I actually wasn't expecting that to be a thing. That was kind of surreptitious. The eggs are just kind of there. They don't even have a map in the book, and they're just kind of mentioned as a thing. You guys wanted to go up there and try to see if you could save any, and the egg becoming Rock and becoming a character in the adventure. I thought that was fun.
That's great.
I liked Asher's whole arc of getting into animal train or becoming druidy, and learning shapeshifting and getting into that. Sadly, we didn't get to do a lot of shapeshifting in the end.
No, it wasn't very strong.
The combats just didn't work that way.
It is Arrow's flurry ranger is really just so strong that you just want a flurry.
Yeah. and nobody really depleted you of arrows. I was hoping maybe the Windwall and Karzug's fight might force you to, but you just walked around it. It's not quite long enough.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm walking around that shit.
There's a wall. I have
Absolutely
legs.
If he had more time, he would have set up more wind walls and made it harder to just get around, but
yeah, that would have really made me upsetty as a player. As
Alright.
all I did was like, what in this battle could really annoy Jason, and he can't hit me, and that's all I did.
Yeah. I tried to. What I was hoping, if I got to like extend the fight further and we had more time for that, I had given him like a super shape change, and the final section of the fight would have just been him constantly transforming into different creatures and things to fight you guys in melee range.
That would have been cool.
Which would have been fun, but it's hard to get
Paizo
villains,
battle.
a lot of extra time, especially after you found the images and reduced his level all the way down, so he ended up being totally fine and not that difficult. All right. Any other last comments before we end?
Ido asked about strange things in our inventories.
Oh yeah. Anybody got anything weird?
I have some eyeballs.
Oh, for those stupid jars from the beginning. Yep.
I have a lot of just useless. Every time I would look in my inventory, I'd be like, what can I use to really help my team? And it's just like, I have a bottle of eyeballs. I have
useful.
4 rations that I never ate because I got those rings. So they're all like,
That ring was so good.
I just had a bunch of trash.
Yeah, I feel like Asher's the one who has all the random trash. I don't know if anybody else has anything weird.
Wand of Anticipate Peril come from? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't remember where you got it.
Oh yeah, I had Greshy's ashes
I probably put it in
jar
there somewhere.
for a while.
It must have come from like literally Karzug.
I don't think it came from Karzug. Oh, actually, it might have come from Karzug. He might have had
these
Anticipate
Jade
Peril on.
Cat talismans that I think we've had since close to the beginning of the game.
Oh, I had the
Probably.
Lamashtu symbol the whole time.
Bunch of random
Very beginning.
Aeon
You could have been
stones.
worshipping Lamashtu this whole time.
I don't.
All kinds
Asher's
of
in worship.
poisons. Gunn has all these vials of poison.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, some of those were just I rolled them on a treasure sheet and didn't feel like replacing them.
A Thessalonian violin.
Oh, where
That
did
one's an
you
interesting
find
one,
from?
actually.
I
That's
don't
probably
remember.
the most interesting one I've heard so far. I've got the damaged portrait of Haframa still.
Huh?
We never
It's a good find.
whipped that out, so you know.
You never know when you'll need that.
Passion of the Flesh.
Oh, one of those books?
Like you
Yeah,
do.
that's the Delvaheen spellbook.
Oh, right. I gave all the spellbooks names. I forgot.
You did, and I got like Servitude, which is the Jordamandus
I have the
conjuration
Might
book.
of Mithril. The Eternal Succor. What is that? Succor.
This
Yeah,
one's
sucker.
Eternal
Karzug
Sucker.
too, a level
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
wand of magic missile.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Just
we
sitting
have
there.
magic
You don't
missile.
need that.
That's just fun.
It's hard when the adventure is a lot of arcane stuff, and everybody in the party is like, nah, no arcane. We don't do arcane.
We all went survival oriented somehow for some reason.
We loved it.
We liked
hard
the
to be-
forest.
We weren't.
It's hard to
warned.
do like class canon in a low man campaign.
Yeah.
So we kind of made that call pretty early on that like nobody really wanted to be.
Oh,
Major
favorite
stuff.
pickle
That's
that
squishy.
I got the party out of personally. I guess the Milfeshnikor battle. That's the one that should have killed the whole party, and I
Yep.
decided
Yep.
not to.
Yep.
Oh yeah, how many times
I think
did
some
you
of us
not
would have run
kill
away
us?
successfully.
I
Greshy.
Is
think
it
that's-
rare?
It's
Or-
pretty rare. And it's like since we switched to Foundry, I've mostly just been using their rolls as is. So I fudged a lot in the not a lot, but I do fudge randomly, or I did fudge randomly at the start when we were in roll 20. Not mostly on like small things. Yeah, I probably did in the Malfeshnikor fight. I was probably open rolling in the Malfeshnikor fight and then regretted it because he just
Is
turned
that
out
like
too
the boss
strong.
of book 1?
He is
Basically.
he's an optional boss in book 1. You don't really have to fight him. He's just kind of there. But yeah, he's the boss basically. He's the secret boss outside of Nawalia, who's the real boss.
Okay. Oh, right, right.
He's like the bonus boss that you just kind of
it's Culex over
randomly
there.
run into. Cullen from Mario RPG. What?
You do have to fight him if you open that damn door.
Yes, basically. I mean, you got out of the Scorpion fight, or the Scorpion head ripper thing.
Oh,
I don't think I had to do anything
Ran
about that.
away.
Yeah, that was very
didn't have to
desperate
save
last
you.
minute. Like, please get Gunn out of there. Anything, please. Oh God.
I chose not to give Black Maga all of her damage resistance because I find that annoying.
I like
that
what you
fight
did with
takes
the Black
forever.
Maga fight.
Thank
Like,
you.
rather than it just being like, hey, try not to die and eventually she'll go away.
Yeah,
Is how you're saying.
Yeah, that's
in the other
basically that's kind of how they want you to run it, but she's really, really resistant to a lot of stuff by default. So I made it so you could actually sort of fight her, and then eventually, if you get her down enough, she will just go away on her own. Yeah, I thought that was fun. I really liked how the Black Maga fight and the whole the flood scenario worked out. I enjoyed how you guys handled the town or saving Sandpoint. I liked all your interactions with the Shawanti. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, Stranzelplum was
yes.
probably one of those things that you didn't necessarily intend to be. So
No, he was just supposed to be like a random character to give you guys a shop in book 3.
we're like, all right, we need to exploit the crap out of this.
And I think around the same time, I was like, I need you guys to be able to transfer runes really fast. So that just kind of became a thing. And then he just has now become a more important character than I'd expect. Yeah, you guys ended up liking Shalelu a lot and took her around everywhere. Yeah, a lot of fun. All right.
How many fights did you really, really try and kill somebody?
Ooh.
Like you were like, I'm gonna try and murder the shit out of this person.
Well, at least 2.
Yes, at least 2. I try to.
Rates were really flying.
Yeah, I try to save it for or I think I did it a lot more in the last half. I do that basically on boss fights, is where I try the hardest to actually outright kill somebody. It's a lot safer to outright kill you when you have access to resurrection and stuff. Oh, for a while, because I gave you guys in the tutorial, you got a scroll of new life. And I figured I had one free kill without making anybody sad.
Did.
I don't remember. I guess it was Gunn that I killed first.
It was Gunn. Yeah.
Oh no, I must have. Did you guys
Nobody
use the new
died
life on
until
him?
Gunn.
Yes,
Nope.
I guess so. Yeah,
We were too high level at that point.
Yeah, we used the scroll on him.
Yeah, we used the scroll. We used the scroll and Gunn, but we also had to redo the scroll because the scroll was originally done for.
Oh, right. Yes, I wrote it
pre-test, and yeah.
Yeah, I just let it work basically.
Yeah, it was a scroll that was a spell in the playtest, but then you didn't exist anymore, so you made it.
It was a scroll.
Ritual.
The scroll actually only exists in the beginner box for Pathfinder 1. It's not even in the main Pathfinder 1 game.
Oh, geez, yeah.
It's just supposed to be one freebie.
You get one.
And we did.
And we got 2.
I did, yeah. I did actively try to kill Phelan a couple times. I did actively try to kill Asher a bunch.
I felt it a few times.
You wanted to trigger the Phelan coming back action. You wanted that to happen.
Yes. I tried to kill. I think I tried to kill Greshy specifically in the fight with the Wrath lady, High Lady Athroxus.
You actually took it easy on me because you made a decision not to counterattack at one point when you could have. That was right after you had devastated him.
Okay, maybe I did. So okay, maybe
you bowled
maybe that was
Greshy
me bailing
over.
you out.
Yeah, you bowled Greshy over because you did one attack and it turned into like a double crit fail on Greshy and Phelan's part, and it was bad and they were bad, and then you were like, oh, well, she could react to this and maybe be disrupted, but nah, never mind.
Don't worry, next AP I'll be much meaner. I'll just kill everyone.
No, I figured there were a few battles where I'm like, I think Jason's trying to kill me. Well, that's not gonna happen.
Certainly in the later half, largely because eventually Karzug realizes that Asher's the only one who's got the anti-greed bow. So certainly towards the end, characters were intentionally focusing on Asher.
With disintegrate every 5 seconds.
Yes. I max loaded Karzug on disintegrates and was just slamming them. There was one fight where I had him cast Force Wall, or a Wall of Force on one turn. I think I said he cast something and you didn't see what he cast. And then I forgot it was there because I was actually trying to kill Gunn in that fight. But I forgot in between rounds and somebody ran through it. And I was like, shit, they've already run through it. Now this doesn't make sense. It was in the hallway fight when
No, we climbed over that. I don't think anyone.
No, that was the second. I did the same trick again later and actually cast Wild Force for real.
Because you said you don't know what happened, so then he just disappeared. I'm like, I guess that's
and we were all freaked. There was a moment of like, what was it? What was it?
That was I cast Wall of Force on that turn, and then I didn't make any markings on the map like I should have done for myself. And then when other people's turns were happening, I was thinking about other stuff. It was just like letting you guys walk through it. I was like, well, now it doesn't make sense for him to do that. So, oh well, he didn't do anything, I guess. Nobody call me out on that, please.
I figured it was something that would happen much later, and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, or contingency or something. It just never popped up. All right.
Confidence.
All right. It's been a fun 4 years. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. I think we've all got to go to bed. Sorry for the extra long finale, but figured it was worth it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Yep.
It's black.
The darkness.
Oh, there's people.
Bye.
Darkness. We are all dead now.